Greetings everyone. Today I would like to talk about this. Greetings everyone. So previously I talked about this story of the Lord of the Lightning, how he went on a war with the Elik Khan, the ruler of hell, and how he mainly destroyed his daughters, creating this earth dust, and this earthly dust stuff is made mainly from a dead stuff. You can grab some soil, and if you have this very strong magnifying eyes, you can see that there's a bunch of things are crawling, and there is also lots and lots of dead stuff. So everything is made from a dead stuff. It's a little bit, disturbing if you are like having a weak mind. So when you dig all this dead stuff, you will find very toxic stuff, materials like heavy metals. They are like quite poisonous. So this story has a message like when you create a stuff from this dead stuff, this every item is like designed to suffer. I could fight using my like teeth and nails, but I prefer to use like these weapons because I am a human being, and every tool, clothing, like for example, my clothing is going to be the first line of defense from outside harm, and it's going to go bad, tear, get used, etc., etc. So everything you see around is has a use or has this designed to suffer or this. To be destroyed in time, in something like that. So it means the Lord of the Lightning failed to deliver his promise to solve the riddle of death, or he promised to destroy the death, something like that. Similar claims are claimed by the Christians, like their God hates death, or he's going to save you from save your soul from the final death, something like that. So all this fear, all this like negative stuff in religion is related with this horny dude saying that you will pay sometimes you will you will suffer, you will face your karma, you will burn in hell, something like that. All these design things are related with the Mr. Khan. So obviously Buddhists also use this stuff, and I stole this book recently from a Korean hotel I visit for a business trip, and why I stole it? It is not because I'm a Mongolian. Typical Mongolian has this uncontrollable desire to steal something. It's not the first item that I just stole in my life. I must be open or honest about it. If I had this uncontrollable desire, I steal. so I wanted to take it in a proper way because I'm a very civilized person. I went to the receptionist and asked them, "Do you sell it? I mean, I want to buy it. I found it in my room and I find it very interesting." Obviously, the big hotel has this educated receptionist, and she obviously understands the English, and she said, "No sir, you can't you just read it and leave it in your room," something like that. Then I was reading the back where this book is distributed, like how to say it? This holy book has been distributed as contribution or a bossy without payment to the justice, administrative, legislative bodies of constitution, top level persons in dark prisons, education centers, libraries, homes for aged, homes for juvenile offenders, bodies of religion, hotel rooms, Buddhist temples on lower level, etc., etc. So this book is distributed freely. So I decided it's not so much, the sinful stuff to buy, not to buy, steal this book. So why I'm talking about this book? I guess I'm going to quote some of parts from this book today in my video. The idea that items, any item, for example, this my marker Schneider, made in Germany. So I thought it was made in China. So trade like miracles. This item has a spirit. Who believe this strange nonsense? Still, religious people believe that this nonsense. Can I burn this book, or can I burn a Quran or a Bible? Does these books contain a Holy Spirit? Like that. So, from humble items like this has a spirit, or this has a spirit. Things, this changed. In old times, everything had a spirit, but nowadays we say holy books or holy teachings or this, they have the spirit, something like that. So today I would like to talk about what happened next after creation of this world. The Lord of the Lightning created the caste system, something like that, the natural order, so-called the food pyramid, food chain. Yeah, I guess in the very top of this food chain is a human being, or maybe other strong beings like tiger. So let me read some part of this, of this wonderful stolen wisdom. Where is it? I like finding the quotes from the internet on this book. Do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. There was this site where named Real Buddha Quotes, and these quotes seem believed to be fake Buddha quote. But since this quote is quoted so much, and this is since became the teachings of this Buddhism, I think this is a legitimate quote. So you cannot dwell in the past. Obviously, you cannot dwell in the past. Obviously, you can dream about the future. It's dreaming about the future is easy, really easy. It could be any dream, but he's trying to cut down the future. You have to have a dream in order to have future. But Buddha wants to cut the future. So, speaking about the top of the food chain, once there was a prince named Sattva. One day he had his two elder brothers went to a forest to play. There they saw a famished tigress, which was evidently tempted to devour her own cubs to satisfy her hunger. Obviously, this tigress was bone skinny. In order to notice that elder brothers ran away in fear, but Sattva climbed up the cliff and threw himself over the tigress in order to save the lives of the tiger babies. So he had a chance to run away, but he didn't. He offered himself as a food for these tigers. One must know that tiger here in Mongolia is called bar, and bar means to end, to consume. So a tiger's life is all about consuming, consuming, consuming. So these 7 cubs someday will consume another being, and this consuming will never end. So what kind of evil thing this dude Sattva is doing? Prince Sattva did this charitable act spontaneously, but within his mind he was thinking, this body is changing and impermanent. I have loved this body with no thoughts of throwing it away, but I make it offering to the tigers so that I may gain enlightenment. This thought of Prince Sattva shows the true determination to gain enlightenment. So there's this some fanatic dudes who want to gain the enlightenment by sacrificing themselves. There was a lot of choices for a young Prince Sattva. Like he could become a ruler of some small village and work hard to make their lives better, or he could teach this enlightenment, become a holy man, but he chose to feed some tigers. I find it this stupid and foolish, and this small part of teachings is like it's very useless, so you should take it and throw it. It's make no sense. So there was another quoting that it is better to conquer oneself to conquer thousands in battle. And human mind is doing this trick of lying to itself, and word conquer is making things confusing. The real word, the plain real word is kill. It is better to kill yourself than kill thousands in battle. It's like this. It is better be the sperm which did not born. I mean, I know the science. I guess I competed with my 300 million brothers and sisters sperms to find the egg in a dark place. I'm like racing, and finally I'm finding this egg, and I'm born here. So I have murdered my way to the top, 300 million egg sperms, so something like that. This makes this the chance, or the Odin, father of everyone. Everyone is born because of this good luck, the chance. It's not because in our this myth, Erlik Khan seems to be father of everyone, but no. In this reality, the father of everyone is the Odin. He is the chance. He's the good luck, and because of you made it. You are born. You are the creation of the chance, something like that. So yeah, I also in this read further that not only you must be first in this struggle for life, it is better if your mother also ate some of your brothers, ate some sperms, so that you will not face miscarriage. Something like that. So suddenly things are so dark about this life. So now I want to talk about the other books. I do this collect the books about the shamanism, and I find it a little bit this sad, because they fail this to explain why it is so important, why it is so valuable, and shelters everywhere. Obviously, there is fake shamans or brainwashed shamans, or maybe I find them being the, I have to say, enemy, or I'm having the other point of view, something like that. For example, in this book, the shamanism and worship of sky, it's a book of Mr. Galarit. Yes, Galarit. Уг нь Монгол 6-ын ёсонд гахаа хулган хоёр үүдэнд могоо морхойн хойморт байдалтай төрийн хар сүлдний товшруулгыг луужил хийдэг. So this small passage, I guess you don't understand, says that according to Mongol ways, in the zodiac placement is the dog and pig is in the gate, and horse, sheep, and snake is in the very this top corner, something like that. And we make military, this banner strong during the year of dragon, something like that. I find it, this lie, or this dude who claimed that we used to worship to a dragon is brainwashed dude, or he is doing it deliberately. So if you see a shaman who has a dragon on his drum, or he has displayed a beautiful image of a dragon in his home, you must know that dude is not a Mongolian. Dude may be a Chinese shaman. Yeah. Why? Because our turbulent history, or the constant bloodshed with our southern neighbor, have created this idea that the Chinese dragon is like an Satan for us. Yeah. So let me explain what the hell is like is talking about. So we are living in a circle called Ger, and in the middle of the Ger we are having the fire, and the fire spirit lives there. The fire spirit is like our history of rise and fall, rise and fall. So the nation is rising and it's falling, and it's almost like extinct, but it's rising and falling, rising and falling. Same thing is happening to our history, and maybe it's like this is the holiest symbol for us, and the holiest thing is the fire. So we attribute our survival in this cold and harsh environment to a fire spirit. And since we are being, one can say, almost close relatives to a Chinese, one can say that we are sharing same origin with the Chinese and the rest of the world, because according to science, there was obviously one ancestor, one dude. But according to a religion, it is quite possible that different gods in a pagan world created different races or different ethnic groups. So dude is saying that horse should be here, and it's wrong to put a horse here. Obviously, we live like this way of life, where we keep the young baby sheep here. We have a bucket of water and some food here. So the bucket of water is obviously snake, and food is obviously a dragon. A dragon is a snake with arms and like horns and stuff, and something like that. So we capture this two snakes and feed it to this fire in order to create food. So it is a lie that this dragon is like a spirit of Mongols. It's a very big lie. So obviously the spirit of the Mongols is the fire, and fire is believed to be some bird, and it's a phoenix because it burns and then it turns into ash, and it burns and turns into ash, something like that. It's it sounds a little bit evil, but for us the dragon is the evil. Since we are the neighbors, we know what they are, you know, the Chinese shamans are into. They think that the dragon is the beauty of nature, the good part of the nature. Sometimes it's angry, that feeds their massive population, and thanks to a dragon, they are surviving, etc. So a dragon being food for us is also can be found in the myths of the Middle East. I will put a video in the description below. Please enjoy. So these so-called Chinese shamans or fake shamans, sometimes, you know, this pisses me off. Yeah. Yes. Interesting question. What feeds us? Is it a dragon? No. We say, you know, this feeds us. Let me explain. Obviously, it's not a dragon, but God feeds us. It's the Borhan. Since this is an ancient word, and it also can be found in the Middle East, because maybe Turkic invasion, all kinds of stuff. It also can be Furkan. Who is the real Furkan? Is Allah is the real Furkan? No. Bor. Who is Bor? Bor can be Bor, meaning deer. The deer Lord is the Lord. We usually think that, you know, this from the very creation until the nowadays, our belief in God is still here. And you must know that in the very beginning there was this stone people, cave people, all kinds of, you know, these people, and for them, deer was very, you know, this important. You have a bunch of naked people. There is males with dicks, and, you know, this all kinds of stuff. I wonder if you can see. And in the very middle, they are worshipping, or they are having the deer. So deer is seen as like a dragon. Deer is the beauty of the nature, the good part of the nature, and the bad part of the nature wants to harm us. The good part of the nature is always there and saves us. So there was, you know, this story where a camel loses its deer horns to a deer, something like that. This story doesn't make much of a sense, but since we have such a story, boar is nowadays is a camel. But if you ask like our neighbors like Tova, Yakots, boar is a male deer. So male deer is like God. So nowadays main religion being Buddhism, and Buddhism claims to be God's religion. Since, you know, this Buddhism has, you know, like deers on the entrance of their temple, we also accept it as this God's religion, or the deer's religion. Here in Mongolia, we have like having several thousand of, you know, these deer deer stones, and because of these deer stones, in Mongolian language, dead person is Borhan Baloch. Another way to call dead person is Halyach. Halyach. And word Hali, Halion means deer. The mountain which Genghis Khan was worshipped was Borhan Khaldun. Borkan Khaldun. Both Bor and Hal means deer, deer, deer. So he was worshipping to this deer god or their god. Please help me. Something like that. So this deer thing was being good, and it reached the highest level of artistic during the Chutian times, and during Hunnic times it declined, and there was a lot of disturbance in belief in God during the some Buddhist, half Chinese like Khitan and this Uyghur and etc. And there was also big disturbance during the Turkic times. Turks had their strong belief in the Tengri. They attributed that their dominance, their survival must be attributed to the sky god, something like that. So, like Chinese, we are having this mythical beast that this helps us to survive this this bad, harsh, this landscape. So I told you that why this hands helps us to survive. It is because how you going to say the beautiful part of the nature? Seriously, you can say that the handsomeness of nature feeds us. So this is just an image of a hand. When you look at a hand, you see it's a bird, or it's a horse, or it can be a deer. That's why we call this area of body as hand, or boka, or it's bokoi. It became bokoi. So handhai means moose, or yes, moose, and bogai means the deer. So you're having like two deers that feeds you. Thanks to these deers, you can capture the dragon and consume it, something like that. So during the Chutian time, the deer had this the bird beaks, and this it had a bird, this its horns had a bird ends. This represents simply the these nails. Nails are being this some kind of this biting birds. So you are having a deer, but the deer is also having this biting nails, or the bird heads. One can say that this like a Native American chieftain is like a holy deer being, because he is having like this horn-like hat with the feathers, so something like that. So yeah, so hand feeds you, and thanks to this hand you also greet people, and somehow you create stuff with the hand, and hand is the handsome or good part of the nature, and nature gave us this wonderful tool called a hand. That's why we are having, like, this hand. By the way, I don't know why some English words exist in Mongolian. Maybe it is because during this history and journey you consume some, these other people, and you create this nation. And giving or handouts is or charity is called handiv, and I'm not the one who always ask for the handiv. I do not like to beg. Because I must be opposite of Podsta. I will not say, this is my bank account, I want some handiv, please, hand give, something like that. Well, what else? I guess now you know that if you think that some dude is claiming that dragon is so important, he is obviously Chinese. He's obviously some brainwashed dude, because he was buying the Chinese goods. I mean, you can, since from ancient times we are bringing the Chinese goods. Obviously, the fabrics and this, all the items in graves can have an image of a dragon. That doesn't mean that we worship to a dragon. We worship to our hands, these deers. Well, that's pretty much for today, and thanks for watching.